So on today's project, we're going to be building, well, not really building, but kind of putting together a drag to go behind the tractor. You can see I have a box of D-ring, half-inch shackles, and we're just going to go ahead and weld them right onto this big old flange beam scrap that I got from my construction site. About 5 feet 4 inches long. It's about 3/4 inches thick and probably a 1/4 inch right there in the middle of it. It'll be pretty good because being at over 5 feet long, most trucks and trailers, at least pickup truck wise, are going to be about 8 feet wide, maybe a little over. And then if I do 2 drags with this, a little bit of overlap in the middle, should be 2 passes, should fix the gravel driveway pretty quick. All right. So we're just going to prep the surfaces, angle grinder, just get it down to the bare metal. It's roughly in the middle. I'm not too concerned about it. It's just going to be used behind a tractor, so it doesn't need to be perfect. Looks to be about right-ish. Make sure we have a good ground over there on the end. And with these types of shackles, D-rings, no, they're not clevises, but usually with these, a good idea I've read and seen is that what we want to do is put more like a plate of steel here, maybe something like 1/4 inch or maybe 3/8, like a piece here, maybe angle it or a round one, and then put this and then weld these edges to it because this is smaller steel. This looks like maybe, oh, I don't know, barely 1/4 inch, probably 3/16 at max. So what'll happen is this is going to be most likely the weaker metal, and because it's going to such a thick piece of steel, eventually this is going to wear out and just crack no matter what I do. It's 035 it's 035 wire coming out of there. It's just flux core. I mean, this is not a real crazy project, so I'm not too worried about that. But eventually, this is just going to lead to cracks because it's a smaller material to a really thick material. Luckily today it's warm out, so if this was cold, this thing would immediately just break the second I try and lift it. So we'll see what happens. So here we have just the first side weld. We can actually see if we zoom in, little tiny bit of porosity right there, but it laid down pretty flat, so that's good. It is just flux core, running it pretty freaking hot. Over here you'll see, oh, wire speed's like 250, voltage 20, conductance is at 6. Just a Harbor Freight special that I found on the return bin, and sucker works like a champ. But I'm no pipeline welder. This is going to be perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and let the welder just cool off for a couple minutes just because I was running it pretty hot and fast. But a lot of these welds look okay. A little bit undercut there on that one. It looks all right. Not bad. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's outstanding. Oh, you can see the undercut there pretty good. But, I mean, it should hold for quite a while. I'm going to go ahead and flip it over, and I'm going to add more to the other side. I want to do 3 on each side in case I want to do a center drag or attach more or wide drag it, just so I have options with chains and anything else that I want to do with it. That way, maybe if I find another one, I can drag them together. Just kind of mix it up and see what I can do with it. All right, we got both sides welded up. Looks like about centered again, so 3 on each side. You see this one's pretty dirty. It's out in the mud when I got it, but it'll do. That one's okay. These ones are not bad. But yeah, I think it'll work. I'll make a different video later of this thing running and see how it goes. We'll see what happens. Pretty sure that little Kubota I have should pull this thing just nice. Looks like it's about, you know what? Let me get a tape measure. Hold on. So I pulled out my tape measure here, and we'll go ahead and just measure this one. This flange beam is basically 8 inches wide. There's kind of a bit of scruff on the ends of it. And this one is 14 inches tall. By the weight of it, I want to say it's a W14 by 40. I don't know. I'd have to look at the structural steel shops from my project to find out for sure, but I'd say this sucker, she's heavy. It's quite a bit to move around here. Little furniture dolly, as you can see. I think that's all I'm going to weld to it today. And I think I said it previously, but I'll add a video later of dragging this thing around. All right.